Well, greetings, ladies and gentlemen. I want to welcome all of you here. I hope that got everybody's attention here. Let's see if we can get a lot of people in here now. I'm just waiting to see. Hopefully, we can get a lot of visitors in here tonight because this would be the time that all of you can all join in live and get the real truth. It's amazing. Whenever you want to go live, the connection is always saying too weak. It don't make no damn sense. Why is always the connection is always so weak on YouTube? I have a very fast computer and it seems to always be lagging. It always seems to be having a problem of connecting. My internet is good. So I don't know what it is with the interface with YouTube or Studio YouTube, but it's always lagging and always behind on catching up to our modern technology. We expect better out of YouTube. Please, come on, YouTube, get together, man. You want to do this live thing, start making it better, much more accessible, and much more speed in uploading and streaming. The streaming is super slow. I don't understand why. I guess it's because I'm either not giving them enough money. Good point, huh? So anyhow, ladies and gentlemen, I want to welcome all of you here to the Zombie Apocalypse. My name is Rooster, and anybody that has any questions as to what this broadcast is about, this is called the Deception of the Realms, Deception from the Realms of Hell. And you guys need to really understand this. This is beyond the realms of hell that we are all dealing with. And I don't like to ruffle feathers too much, which is a joke. I do love it. But I have to be careful what I say on here because YouTube sensationalization is really off the charts, out of control. Violations of constitutional rights of free speech is no longer acceptable by YouTube. YouTube does not honor constitutional laws. YouTube works for the, yes, you guessed it, the global elite. They work for the Luciferian system. They don't allow people to have free rights to think, to express, and to put out anything that would be against the controlled information system. So we have to be careful. Now, the sad part about all this is that that's the beginning of deception, is how you control the way people think. It's always about controlling what we think. You see, if they don't shut us down from our open opinion, then the controlled oppositions of this Luciferian system could not achieve their deception. Now, the funny part is about my camera, it cuts on and off. So please, the audio is still working. We just got to wait for the camera to come back on. For some reason, it's GoPro. I don't know how to stop it from doing what it's doing. It's within these, the camera settings, and I haven't figured it out yet. But it keeps shutting off and on all the time. So just please get your minds past that point. So anyhow, so here's what we're dealing with. We're dealing with a system that's trying to shut us down from the truth. You know, it's like the system just all of a sudden think that we become stupid, that our minds all of a sudden just shut off from reality, that we just all of a sudden are instantly programmed into this system, so that they have to convince us that we're idiots by shutting down what we think. That we all of a sudden are spontaneously hooked into the global government controlled information. That's all of a sudden the truth, the ultimate truth, regardless of opinion. It is the truth, and we must accept it or be shut off from YouTube. Even though it is not the truth. Crazy, isn't it? But I don't want to be YouTube bashing, because we've already been through this road. We've been down this road. We've been here so many damn times. I've had videos stopped, banned, restricted, removed, and I've had accounts from YouTube removed because they will not allow me to be able to speak what I feel. And this is why you see me the way that I am. I'm still going to tell what I tell. I'm still going to upload videos. I'm still going to keep what I believe out there for you to decipher what you think is the truth. Now, I want everybody to pay attention, because this gets really, really serious. Okay? 1, what do you think is the truth? What do you think? Do you think that truth is based on what one says? Or do you think that truth is based on what you feel is right? Come on, guys. Use your intellectual thinking. Do you need me here to tell you what the truth is, or do you already feel you know what the truth is? Well, in case you haven't figured out how to stop feeling for what the truth is, try listening to what the truth is and see if it speaks to your inner self. Because the deception is beyond the realms, and it comes from hell. Deception does not speak for truth. Deception is always about deceiving every single person. There are things in this world that just simply does not want you to hear what is, what isn't, and what is to become. They don't want you to hear it from opinions. They want you to hear the information based under a controlled opposition environment. If the government doesn't control what you think, then the government does not have control of its people. So it must first control the way you think by isolating you from the world of information. And the only way to do that is to restrict anyone from independently researching and keeping them from asking questions, because you're not allowed to ask questions in a controlled opposition environment. You're not allowed to question. You're only allowed to say, okay, I accept. You're not even allowed to say, I don't accept your information. That's from a controlled environment. I told you deception is beyond the realms of hell. It doesn't look for your opinion. It doesn't even ask for your opinion. It doesn't even desire your opinion or your overthought. From a controlled opposition environment, it is about you do as I say, do as I have commanded you to do, and speak nothing against what I tell you, and see nor give any kind of elevation of awareness to the evil that I have plans for you. Don't let no one know. Go along with what I tell you. And you may, just may, you will prolong your life a little longer. But in a controlled opposition environment, there's no guarantee you shall live, even if you were to go alone with what they command you to do. Even if you were a perfect puppet, doing as they say to do, speaking when they say to speak, silence when they say to be silent, doesn't guarantee you're going to live because you do. From the deceptions of the realm of hell, it plots one order: to kill. To kill any opposition that get in the way or that may be a threat of exposure. It is to eliminate anything that they deem as in the way of their agenda or that will alter their agenda, that will bring restraints against their agenda, restrictions against their agenda, for another word. So when I tell you about these events that have occurred in our country, in the United States in the last decades, from CV to now, to the current event from the storm that hit Buffalo, how many more times do you all need to be told to that you all have been lied to? How many times do you need to hear it from anyone's mouth? How many times? Why do you even need to hear it from my mouth? Why in the world can't you all see with your own eyes, hear with your own ears, see with your own damn mind, and feel with your heart that you all been deceived? Why is it so difficult for you all to not see it? Ask yourselves this question. Why, Lord, do I not see what this man is trying to warn us about? Why, Lord? What is the problem? Why? Why? Why is it so difficult? This guy, every day, day in, day out, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days out of the year, constantly pouring out his heart, warning people of the dangers that are coming. And I still don't see the threat this man's telling me, but he's here every day waiting for me to wake up. Why? Again, it's about perception, not about hearing. What do you perceive in your heart? So you're all waiting for me to give you the answer to wake you up, that I got the answer for you all to wake you all up. But I've done that. I've tried that. I've been there. I've done everything I could to wake you up from me just being able to tell you what's going on. But telling you does not seem to be waking any of you up. So you have to sit here and wonder what the problem is. Why can I not see when I'm being told and shown what is really happening? Why do I make excuses around what I'm seeing? Is why you need to ask what is the reason you don't see what I'm telling you. Because you've been spellbound. You're under an opposition control because you trust the controlled opposition information. You trust the media. You trust the damn psychopaths who's selling you on the bullshit story because they promise you wealth. They're promising you to have prosperity in your life, or they're trying to buy you with money, with gifts, whatever the nature is. They have you sold into this false utopia that never existed. And you sold yourself to it, and it's never been promised to you. That is the reason why you don't see nor hear what I'm trying to show you, because you chose to sell your people and yourself out short for the Luciferian controlled opposition system. You chose it. I chose to tell the truth. I chose to show you the government documents that mainstream media, social media, every damn YouTube account that you ever had, and YouTube themselves, the criminal bastards themselves, has never been able to allow you to see, because even they will rock at the foundations. They will shake to the bottom and the core of their foundation. The founders, the people who work for them, they will shake and it will rock their foundation out of stability when the real truth slaps their fucking asses in the face. See, they can block you. They can keep you from seeing the truth. They can do whatever they can to keep the damn information from getting out there. But even they will see the truth without even having me to be here to tell them. Because they're going to be awakened with a very rude awakening. It's going to blow them off the foundations of wherever they're at. So we go here to this whole event that happened here with the so-called storms across the United States, from Washington State all the way to Colorado, all the way into Michigan and Chicago, all the way into Buffalo, getting stricken with severe, extreme, high-level blizzard storms with impactable storm winds of 75 miles an hour, according to the media at the time. But what happened is that we started to see that whatever this was that they were trying to sell us is a bullshit story, because it never reached 75 miles an hour, number one. But it did reach blizzard temperatures, and it did reach blizzard winds. But the problem was it didn't reach the amplification the media was trying to sell it. That's where HAARP failed to meet the data and the quota that they were aiming to do in these last 3 or 4 days that have been happening. That shocked the Buffalonians in New York City. You see, now, as I have been sitting up here trying to warn everybody for the last almost 22 years of my life now, HAARP, High Active Aurora Research Program, HAARP, HAARP, HAARP. When you go on their website, which is the official website, all you have to do is to go to their magnometer, and please take note that they have 13 locations throughout Alaska. This is where HARP is located, and it's all affiliated and owned and controlled and contracted to the Alaska University.edu. But it is highly being controlled by CIA and the United States Navy. Now, however, the Department of Defense had recently removed their name of ownership and control of the so-called facility. So they didn't want anyone to link anyone to the Department of Defense. They've removed their name by saying that they're no longer active in the facility. But yet we still see today that HARP is still turned on in these events. And as you will go to the Magnimator, you will see by its extreme documented recordings, you will see that it is literally connected from time-stamped moments to every event that happened from Washington to Colorado to Buffalo with this new so-called snowstorm that they even personally gave a name to. I can't remember the name of it. I'm going to say it's Elliot. But the question is why did they give a name to this storm? Because it's significantly, symbolically named for a reason, because it had a damn reason. It had a purpose. And we're going to discover that here in a second. Canadian border at the Peace Bridge, the Rainbow Bridge, closed its borders into Canada in the wake prior to the snowstorm and during and after the snowstorm happened, which is something that the Canadians have never done and the Americans on that border have ever done during any winter season. This is the first time they have ever shut down the damn borders between the two countries. And on the so-called Canadian side, they claimed that there was a national alert emergency, that there was an unarmed man, but failed to show the description of the armed man. I keep saying unarmed. The armed man who was somewhat a terrorist, but it didn't give the location. It didn't give where this armed terrorist was. And it just so happened to be a native Indian from the First Nations tribe, young man who was armed to the teeth, that claimed to have shot an OPP, Canadian law enforcement. Now, but that's not what ushered on the American side, because that's an inside, isolated case that's got to do with the Canadian government and not the American government. But the American government at the same exact time had their own bullshit story working in the works during this storm. That's right. The storm gave unalienating justification to bring in the National Guards to invoke law enforcement activities upon the American citizens, which is in violation of the habeas corpus law, as well as constitutional laws. Passing out tickets to those who violated the travel ban mandates. See, everything that was happening already was a violation of the mandates. These mandates in itself is a violation of the law. It's a violation of the habeas corpus law. This is also a violation of the so-called constitutional laws, the free right to travel without restrictions within all borders of 50 states in the United States. It's an American right and a universal God-given right. and not for one of any form of law nor military to take that right away. Yes, granted, you are at your own risk when you travel. Yes, granted, life can be taken from you. Yes, granted, but still it's your right to choose and judge, should I go, should I stay? Should I take a chance to go put food in my family's table because I have no food in my house because I'm sitting here waiting for shit government to get ready to plow my streets today and I can't get out because I'm having to wait for shit government to plow my streets and I have to starve my family waiting for shit government? You see my point? But no, they knew that this restriction, this travel ban, will keep people who were less fortunately unable to make it to the grocery stores because they had to work to prepare last minute preparations of getting food in their houses to feed their children during this so-called snowstorm lockdown. See, this is what they were trying to do is exercise over exerted and out of control powers and unlimited powers of your government who's overstretched their justification to bring in National Guards to control what was not needed to be controlled. See, we weren't in bad shape as what the media tried to make it look like it was. What happened was is the city was given an order to park all of their damn plow trucks and not to answer to the emergency calls until the shit became out of control. Oh, then they were then called in. Yeah, we need to get some emergency guys over there because we got stranded cars. We got cars that are now cannot get through because of stranded cars. So yeah, they knew by not doing something, by not acting, and by not getting out there with their plow trucks early on, when before and after and during the storm happening, they could have prevented the shit. It was very well preventable. But it was under the guise of very demonic people controlling the outcome of what and how that this should have been dealt with. And then we see evidence of HARP. HARP was turned on exactly by the time zones and time frame. HARP was turned on. HARP was definitely turned on exactly in the same time frame of these events. And then as soon as the wind stopped blowing, I documented exactly that time and HARP exactly turned off at that. But now you all have a choice again. What feels right and what doesn't? Does the weather turn off like a light switch? You see, by perception, weather don't turn off like a light switch. and it turns back on. There you go. All right, guys, I apologize. It's just GoPro, and I don't know how to stop it from doing that. Every few minutes it turns off. If it gets overheated or what, I don't know if that's the case. But anyhow, so you have to understand if it's perception, or do you really feel that something's not right? So you got to start asking yourself this question: do you feel that something's not right? Don't wait for somebody to tell you. Do you feel? Do you personally within inside yourself? Remember, I told you don't listen to outside people. Listen to yourself. Slow to speak and fast to listen to only what's in you. Don't even listen to what I'm telling you. Listen to what's inside of you. And once you discover that, once you see that, then you will know the truth because you're looking within your answers that are inside of you. Slow to speak, super fast to listen, and look within inside of yourself. The truth. So, everything is within you. It doesn't matter. However you want to perceive it, wherever you want to perceive it, it's there. We're here. You're there. You know that what is going on around you is not the truth. You know it. You can see that it's not the truth. You can understand it's not the truth. The wind don't just turn off in seconds. The wind don't just go off from 45 miles an hour to zero like that. The wind has to gradually die down and then it goes away. But that's not the case in this snowstorm. This happened here. We all witnessed it here. It just turned off like a light switch. Bleep. 45 miles an hour. Bleep. No more. That's why something is not right. That's why you got me up here making this video. Something is not right. But anyhow, I always say question everything. Question it. Because then you start to see that everything that the media and everyone are telling you starts to fall apart. Nothing is real. Just question it. Your lives depend on it. I wish everybody the best. I thought that there was going to be people coming in here tonight, but I don't have not even a single person in here. But I hope that this does draw attention eventually. You all have a good night. I'm going to leave the thoughts to you all to think about it. Right now, I'm not going to sit up here and wait all night long for anyone to show up. I just hope this video gets your attention one way or the other. Peace out. Happy New Year to you all.